It's had to do with Trump supporters and had to do with Mega believing that they're the chosen ones. Like so many times I have said about religion and about Christianity has always been, you know, such trash, and people believe other people of what's, going to happen to them. And, you have such, ignorant people that will tell you that they're more powerful than the other people and only God only accepts these people. And these are, I don't know if they're Republican, Democrat, liberals. I don't know who it is. I just think it's just people that who are very, like, they really believe that they are not sinful people. And the things that have gone on this planet for so long, and to believe that you're not one of these people that had done sin, or just not just do sin, anything that has to do with the, with hate and racism, and you seen what happened these last past couple of months ever since Donald Trump has been put in office, of the racism and bigotry. And not just that, the hate, the racism, just if fumigates. Like, how is it that we keep on forgetting about racism? How people just attack immigrants, how people attack Puerto Ricans, Chinese, Japanese, Asians, blacks, just all different cultures of people that had nothing to do with them, but they always want to bring up how good they are and how they need to get into heaven. This is my problem with religion, and I will always have problems with religion. Religion is nothing but a cult. Religion you know, has been for at least 1,000 years, has fumigated this planet, and nobody has woken up the fuck yet. And to believe that you're going to be taken into heaven by God. And the funny thing that what made me piss me off is, you talk about how the devil wants your soul, right? But you have it that you need to be butt naked, standing on the fucking street corner, and waiting for God to take you as a human. How is it that that's possible? And then you're going to leave your kids. You're going to leave your children here. Like, God doesn't take children. And you're going to leave your animals. Didn't God create animals first before he created human beings? So why the freak would he leave his animals here alone to take some human beings into heaven? And you forgot, when you're at that gate, you're going to be judged, right? Like, you're actually going to be fucking judged. Like, he's going to judge you before you walk into that gate. So I don't know if you thinking that you're going to just walk right in, saying hallelujah, and, singing these passages through the Bible, thinking he's going to let you in there for free. No, that doesn't work like that. Like, why? Like, it's amazing that people sat out there in the woods believing that they saw little spots in the sky, that they're going to be taken into heaven because of what somebody said on the internet. Like, it's fucking crazy. Like that, like I said before, like 2020, people were standing around with the needles in their fucking arm. When they held up them lines to tell you to go and get the motherfucking vaccine, people were waiting in line getting that vaccine, and they had their arms out. And once they got themselves stuck with that vaccine, it changed their whole perception of reality, dog. Like, it's like y'all really believe that that vaccine was gonna work, and it did work. It made y'all crazy. It made y'all crazy. And I'm not going against the grain of people being crazy, because people just deal with reality differently than other people do. But it's sad, yo. Like, people actually believe the rapture. Like, how many times I gotta tell people God doesn't exist? How many times I gotta people tell people that Jesus doesn't exist? And even if he did exist, they tell you in the Bible that you will never know when the rapture is going to fucking happen. And people are so wanting to die. Like, why don't you just take your life? I'm just being honest. Like, people say they want to see their mom, they want to see their dad, they don't want to be here. Why the fuck did you just take your life? Because if you feel that the rapture is going to do anything for you, you might as well just take your life. What's the difference? You're going to die anyway. Death comes. Death is going to come to you anyway. So why are you so obsessed with waiting for the rapture, knowing that you're going to have to be going up into heaven and you're going to have to be judged by God at the gate? You're not going to be just let the fuck in. Christianity is just the fucking name of the two motherfuckers that you're following, which is God and Jesus. It's a fucking cult. I keep telling you, church was created for a actual cultus, I mean, to be a cult. Like, don't you understand? That's the reason why they make you pay when you go. You don't go to church for free. You pay to go to church. I mean, you pay to go to church. You have to give up money to sit there and listen to a congregation of people talk. These two motherfuckers, this priest and somebody else is yelling behind the priest saying, "You're right, you're absolutely right. Yeah, Jesus, yes, you're right." Because it's all a game, man. This is all a system built. And this is what has been going on ever since they created the Pope, the priest, the rabbi. All these motherfuckers are all into this. And then they brought the king in. Then they brought regular civilians in. You know, it's a following, dog. Why do you think a lot of these different cults burn down? Like you see the one that happened in Texas a long time ago in El Paso, where that motherfucker said he was Jesus and he burnt out all the motherfucking houses because he said it was a rapture coming. Remember, I think it was a couple of years ago, I think like 11 years ago, when the dude said it was the end of the world, everybody started selling their shit. You know what I mean? 11 years ago, when a guy said that it's the end times, and everybody, it was a white guy. He said it was the end times, and and everybody sold all their stuff. And not just that, I remember when I was young, they did the same thing. They had a rapture when I was young, when everybody started. And like I said, the pandemic did the same thing. The pandemic made people believe that God was coming and taking them, and people were selling all their stuff. It's weird, dog. Like I don't understand. Like where do we get this from? Like when do we start going and just chasing God? Like we started to chase him now. Like a few years ago, like before 2020, nobody was even thinking about raptures and shit. Everybody was getting back together and everything was, we were straightening ourselves out, and you know everything was affordable. Now, what I mean, ever since this shit going on with your boy Donald H. Trump and the pandemic and what we're going through and how the megas and are bringing up how they're more superior than any other culture and how racist they are. Now they're telling you that there's a rapture coming along. Today's the 25th. Like I'm thinking, like, goddamn, if anybody would have been gone, number one, you would have known when people been gone. But the thing about it is that why the fuck would he take a human being to heaven? Why would he take a human, not a spirit, a human? Wouldn't he take the soul? Like I'm trying to figure that out. Like why does the devil want the soul, but God wants a whole human being in heaven? It doesn't make any sense to me. Why doesn't he take the soul? Why would he leave the bodies down here? So people could see that it really happened. Why he make people disappear for? Why would he take a whole human being, and not take the soul? Which the soul is which he created to put inside the chalice, which is the human. We're all souls, man. We're not. We're, this is right here is just a shell. You got to understand that the human body is a shell. We have a thing called a soul. So when we die, our soul leaves this shell. That's what happens. We don't walk around looking like this. We don't look like this when we die. Our souls don't look nothing like this. So I don't know where you get this from. Maybe because they said God created man in his own image. He probably created the shell in his own image. but he didn't create the soul in his old image. Because the soul is a soul. Like, why do you believe the bullshit they tell you? Like, why do you follow? It's so crazy. A book that is 2,000 years old. There's books that are older. There's books that are millions of years old, or 100,000 years old, or 200,000 years old that are older than the Bible. And y'all just go run out there and y'all read this 2,000-year-old book that was written by disciples or prophets, or not just prophets, priests, rabbis, and kings and popes that written by 66 different authors that written these books, and they're all written by man. And y'all go right out there. That's why I tell women to leave the Bible alone. But women don't want to leave the Bible alone. Women really believe that the Bible was actually written for them also, and it wasn't written for women. It was written only for men. But women want to run out there and believe God is going to take them into heaven too, which they talk really bad about the woman getting into heaven. You know what I mean? And talk about how bad the woman is in life, to order to them to believe that they're going to be running up into heaven with the man. So I don't know where y'all get this from, because, like I said before, once we stood in them lines for them vaccines, something must have happened, because people just got lost. And it's the younger. It is not just my generation. It's the younger generation also that's believing this crap. Like, like, I know that you want to believe in something. You want something to be the one that created you. You wanted something that created the heavens and the earth. You want there to be a God. You want to, after so many millennials of all different types of gods that has been created throughout history and throughout time and throughout storytelling and throughout, like, the Greeks, the Romans, the Egyptians. All these had different gods. The Mayans, the Aztecs, all of them had different gods. But now all of a sudden, you want to set yourself on this one God, because it has been created through Constantine, created through popes, rabbis. You got King James, all these motherfuckers, the New Testament, the Old Testament. You don't know what testament to read. Then you got the rapture. Then you have end times of Armageddon. You got all these different types of stories. You know what I mean? And nobody could keep up with any of these stories, because every time a priest reads something or a reverend reads something to you, they're always confusing you with what they're reading to you, because you actually believe everything they're saying to you, because they say that God speaks through them. God doesn't speak through fucking nobody. Like, why does he need a human chalice to speak through somebody once he can speak for his fucking self? Unless you don't know the language he speaks to, because I'm trying to figure out what language he speaks. Does he speak English? Does he speak Aramaic? Does he speak Russian? Does he speak Chinese? Or he has learned all these languages throughout history by studying human languages. I don't know, because I know the English language was created by man, and I know all the different languages was created by different ethnic groups of people throughout history. And, like, English was taught by man. So the broken English, and then it became English, and then they brought it over here. Then they started to just, like, make this whole country into an English country, English speaking country. And they have the nerve to try to destroy, the Native Americans, the Africans, and many other cultures that came through here, by breaking their actual language up that they spoke throughout history, and in their kingdoms and shit like that. But this is the way it is. Like, people believe anything. Like we believe everything was on the fucking internet. Like, people believe everything on CNN, Fox News. Everybody believe what the president says out his fucking mouth. Everybody believes what anybody says out their mouths nowadays. People just don't go and actually go and see for themselves. Everybody believes in fact checks and all this other kind of shit. Everybody believes in science. Science is the most dominant thing that people want people to start believing, because people wasn't believing in science at first. Now they're trying to force you to believe in science, because they feel that science should be the number one subject, not anything the fuck else. And, like I said, science lies to you too. Archaeologists lie to you too. Religion lies to you too. Everything's a lie. Like, you can never believe anything anymore. Especially the younger generation, they're so obsessed with science. Like, I never believed that. I thought the younger generation will be so obsessed with science, but the younger generation is very, very, very obsessed with science. And because I mean, now I forgot on Thanksgiving, the aliens are supposed to be coming. They're talking about aliens because first it's supposed to be the rapture. Because everybody talk about Donald Trump doing the second coming. I don't understand that because Roosevelt did 3 terms, and people forgot about Roosevelt that did 3 terms. When he was president of the United States, and Donald Trump was trying to do 3 terms. So, I don't know how it's a second coming. Everybody knew that Donald Trump was going to be president of the United States again because he was never impeached. So he had an opportunity to be president again. Now he was impeached. He wasn't going to be allowed to be president again, but he wasn't impeached. So that's the reason why he had an opportunity to be president again. And number two, there was nobody else running. So and Donald Trump gave a lot of money. A lot of the people that actually did Trump's campaign gave a lot of money into Trump's campaign for Trump to actually become the president because Biden was already sick. So he was going to be president regardless. And everybody knew that because there wasn't going to elect a woman president. It has nothing to do with no second coming of of a religion because number one, Donald Trump is not a Christian. And he even said it himself that he's not a Christian. And you can look it up for yourself that he's not a Christian. But people believe that he's a Christian. And like I said before, people believe anything nowadays, dog. Like it's crazy how the belief system of fantasy is more popular than anything the fuck else. We can't even straighten out our own fucking country where we live at, but we gotta worry about a rapture. We can't even people want to leave the planet so bad, but they don't want to fix what's going on here, thinking that God is gonna fix everything once they get into heaven because they only chose them. God didn't choose to fuck nobody. God doesn't choose God didn't choose nobody. He already had his son. Why would he choose any fucking human? And he had his son that he already chose to come down here to save the world and die for everybody's sin to go back up into heaven. He didn't choose nobody. There's no Israelite bullshit. That's all made the fuck up because everybody want to use that because people want to say that Jesus came out of Jerusalem and he's a Jew, so he has to be that part of that tree of culture of black people and many other cultures. That's the only culture that is no other culture in the world besides the Jews. But Africans were first before Jews. The Egyptians were here long before a Jewish person ever existed. For any man, white man ever existed, for any color of any nationality existed, the Egyptians were here first, and they were black, and they were called the Kemites. The Kemites. But, people will tell you that's not true. Because you know why people don't want to believe that? Because they're black. Two, black people believe they're Israelites for some fucking reason. Like I said, because we want to be part of that tree of religion. That's it. That's the reason why. We want to be part of a tree of religion. So we will follow any religion of any people that it has nothing to do with Africa. It has nothing to do with Africa. So we'll follow anybody's tree that has to do with not has nothing to do with us. The Jews could be white as snow. Black people will think they're Jewish. And they can be white as fucking snow, even though there's such thing as black Jews. There is a such thing as dark Jews. It's all dark because what people were never dark. I'm trying to figure out what people were never dark throughout history. I'm trying to figure that out. Like they really try to tell you that black people didn't exist way before any other culture has existed. So they'll tell you that Jews were black, but they know if you look at the Jewish people today, they're not because of mixing. Even the Native Americans and many other cultures, they're mixed. So this country was never an all-white country. Jerusalem wasn't an all-dark country, and many other countries around the world were all practically mixed. Because the Africans, when they left Africa, they moved up into that area of Europe, Ireland, Jerusalem, and many other parts of the Arab, Iraq, Iran, China, Asia. Blacks moved up into they found ancient artwork of black artwork in them areas. And they even found Egyptian artwork and pyramids in that area, the areas I was talking about. So How is a religion that we've been following for nearly 6,000 years end up being a religion that we erase and we want to be something the fuck else? Now, the funny thing about it, as you see, black people are the only ones that are deeper into religion of Christianity than any other race. Now they're saying they're apologizing. What are you apologizing for? You know that he does not exist. You're just following because you were taught through your childhood, through your grandmom, your grandfather, your great aunt, your great uncle, your or your mom or your dad that's obsessed with religion, that you have to follow behind them because they went to church every fucking Sunday or every weekend or every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday because they got to do, Bible study and other things. Like, it's crazy. Black people are the only ones that sit on this chalice of thinking that God is only for us because we took their religion. You see, do you see it now that the white people that actually said that God is coming back are the ones that doesn't want black people to even pray to their God? Because they said all Christians, and they're not talking about black Christians either. They're talking about white Christians. They're talking about white Christians getting into heaven. They wasn't talking about black Christians getting into heaven. They were talking about leaving black people down here and many other cultures that had nothing to do with the white culture. So all the black people that actually believe that they are saying, "Oh my God, the rapture was for all people," no, there wasn't, because they are only talking about themselves. That's the reason why I tell black people to stay away from Christianity and stay away from religion, because they're the ones that they don't want you fucking with their religion. They want to get away from us. That's the reason why you see these white people talk about, "Oh, I'm getting sick and tired of this planet." Yes, they're getting sick and tired of black people taking something that's theirs. They don't want you touching their religion. They don't give a fuck if you touch anything the fuck else. They don't want you touching their religion. But black people have to be there touching their religion and claiming the religion is their own. Like, they have to say God is their God. God is black. God is, you know, God is this or God is that or Jesus is black. They don't want you saying that shit. They don't want you even mentioning God's name. They don't even want you going to church praising God, their God. They don't want you doing that at all. But now they're talking about, "Oh my God, we don't," because the rapture was never going to happen. I don't give a fuck what people tell me. The rapture was never going to happen. 2,000 and something years, that it was never going to fucking happen. But you have these people that have faith. They believe faith is good. Faith is such a destruction, like how love is. Love is just the same as faith. You can't trust it. You can't. You can't put your trust in any of these motherfucking belief systems, man. All it's going to do is turn around and slap you in your face. And look what it did, the 24th or the 25th, which is today. Then you got the 26th and the 27th. So you're talking about, and this is before, honestly, for the shutdown of the government. Did you ever notice this shit started? It started you started to see this shit before the shutdown of the government. Now everybody wants to get off this planet because the shutdown of the government is next month. You see what happened to Charlie Clark because they believe that that's an omen. That was a sign. They believe that the school shooting of the neo-Nazi was a sign. They believe in signs that violence comes, God is coming back. There has to be some type of violence that's happening before God comes back. They want it to happen like that. Like the elevator cutting off on Donald Trump and the fucking the monitor cutting off. I bet you anything, a lot of the motherfuckers that believe in the rapture actually say that's a sign. You see the motherfucking the escalator being turned off on Donald Trump. That's a sign that the rapture's going to happen tomorrow because they put that shit in their head, dog. Like, it's like you can't live a normal day without some crazy shit going on, man. All these people went to the beach. People went to the fucking, went to their backyard. People had parties. People were standing there butt naked. People had their Bibles out. People were leaving shit all over their crib, selling their crib, their cars, all this shit for nothing. They even left their jobs for nothing. For nothing. Because it rained yesterday, people thought, oh my God, it's the rapture. It rained yesterday. And I knew something was kind of funny because I'm like, why do people actually believe in this stuff when things happen in the sky? Like it was a dark, gray, a cloudy day. And even if you even looked on your fucking radar, they said it was going to rain. If you looked at the weather, they said it was going to rain all fucking, it was going to rain. And people still believe that was a sign. Knowing it rained not that long ago, too. I don't believe that they didn't do it last week when it rained. Like, I believe that people stand in line a little bit too long for the vaccines, dog, because it's crazy. Like, you never will ever see people stand outside all day long waiting for somebody to come back. It's crazy, like, all day long. Like, the woman even said she wouldn't even go to the bathroom because she believed she didn't want to miss the rap. Would he take you out the fucking toilet? Like, what the fuck? Miss what? How can you be missed? Like, you really believe that you standing outside is the only way that he can see you? Like, it's some crazy shit. Like, I never heard the most craziest motherfucking shit in my life that people actually believe this shit was going to fucking happen. It's like, and it said it happened in the United States only. If it happened here only, I know this country's fucked up. Mentally, physically, and emotionally fucked up. If this country actually believed that bullshit, if we're the only country that's supposed to be a Christian country, because I know we're not the only country that's a Christian country that packs it all in and thinking that, hey, we're the only country that's going to be, we're the only ones to be taken to heaven. There's no other country going to go through this except us. We are so stupid. Man, man. I can't just imagine what's going to be going on in the next couple of weeks, hoping that people don't start acting stupid during the shutdown of the fucking what do you call it, of the government. Hope people don't be acting crazy. Like, you know what I mean? People really believe like you need to do all these things with Bibles and papaya and sage and prayer and all the other kind of stuff for him to come back. Like, it's if he's going to come back, he's going to come back. Why does he need all this special treatment to come the fuck back? Why does he do all this bullshit to come back? It's retarded. A broken scroll here. You gotta unlock this here. You gotta do up, up, down, down, left, right, B, A, select, start. Maybe Jesus got stopped by the fucking ICE patrol or something like that. Because everybody know that Jesus is supposed to be a Jew. Maybe he did come back. Maybe he was stopped by ICE or something. I don't know. Maybe he was arrested. I don't know. It's weird. Like, it's strange. Like, if Jesus came back, how could people even know that he even who he is? Because people say you gotta wear. Somebody said they gotta wear a shirt. They're gonna wear a shirt with Jesus' name on it. They're gonna wear a cross on their hat. Like, are you serious? Like, you're actually gonna do all that? You're gonna wear a cross on your hat and your shirt, and what you think he's gonna be like? Oh, hi, my name's Jesus. Oh, my name is Mary. Let me shake your hand. Like, he's gonna shake everybody's hand before he takes it. What the one? God doesn't show his face to sin, right? And why will his son do the same? Wouldn't his angels be the one that comes down and take people, not him? It doesn't make any sense. Like, this is why I don't follow religion and don't believe in bullshit. I think it's all scam. I'm always thinking it's about money. It's all about conquering and oppression. That's what I think. Where they created the Bible, they created oppression. They created a God that is very likely to not care nothing about anybody. But I heard he's a selfish and he God, and I heard he doesn't care nothing about women or children. So you leave your children here. That's the most. That's the. I never heard anything like that. Like, God wants you to leave your children here so you could go to heaven, and next thing you know, you could come back and get your children. Or one lady said that I can ask God to come down here and come and get some of the people. Like, he's really gonna fucking listen to you because you said you're a chosen one. 8 billion people on this planet. 8 billion, and it's only 300 and something million people in the United States. So if he's taking how many Christians? It's probably a lot of Christians on in the United States. So he's leaving the ones that only sinful. But he believed that Christians don't sin. Just are just good people with them. That shit is so funny. These motherfuckers need help. And I'm not jumping on the mental. It's just like I just said before. It's like they went during that pandemic and they got the needles. And once they got the needles, something happened. You know what I mean? Ever since they stuck them up the nose with that fucking stick, fucking brain, like they're doing a lobotomy. Like, something happened to a lot of people. Maybe the vaccines work like it's supposed to work. It's supposed to make people crazy because everybody thought by taking the vaccine will save their fucking lives. Knowing people were still dying and knowing people were still, you know, getting sick from the virus. But people still believe that it worked. And I believe the vaccine was used for other reasons. If people want to not believe me, it's cool. Keep on getting that stick. You'll understand in a few years. Because now you see all these people having Alzheimer's. You see people all having dementia. You see people have all these different types of diseases coming out of fucking nowhere that never been heard of before. And then you start to see people lose their memory. And they don't have to have dementia or anything like that. People are just losing their memory on a daily basis. And people are just becoming crazy, doing some crazy shit out in the street nowadays. And people are not even on, like, people, it's people out there that never did a drug in their life. But they're blaming it on fentanyl. They're blaming it on all these different types of drugs and shit. I don't believe none of that shit. I believe the only drug that really actually, like, is fucking with people is that stick. And everybody still continuously to go out there to get stick every, what, 6 months? Be careful, man. Even doctors were telling you long before this, be careful. But I guess nobody wants to listen to the doctors because, like I said, Mega wanted you to listen to them. So people follow behind. People say, oh, they're not big Trump supporter. Well, you must be Mega supporters because the only ones that actually was funding the freaking pandemic was the Mega. And yes, Republicans were too, because Republicans had to get that money. I mean, Democrats had to too, because the Democrats had to get that money. I'm not a Democrat or a Republican or a liberal at all. I don't give a fuck about neither. I'm just trying to tell you what I see from the outside in. Now this shit right here, this rapture shit, really, really makes me look at the pandemic differently now. Now I know some people out there that love God. I know people out there obsessed with Jesus, But they don't do this crazy shit. You know what I mean? They know if they have to wait, they're gonna have to wait. These motherfuckers out there obsessed with getting themselves prepared, packing bags and leaving shit and leaving little notes and shit all over the crib and giving away their prized possessions and leaving their kids and and leaving their dogs and cats and you know, you know what I mean, leaving their grandmothers and grandmoms and all for them to go to somewhere that doesn't exist.